welcome to the show, guys. We're back after the Friday, and then we're here now. So I hope you guys had a good weekend so far. Happy Sunday. I hope it hasn't been too stressful. It's the Lord's Day. We just gotta relax, recharge, get things together. So for those that may not know what the show is about, this is AnimeInkArt Live Talks, where we talk with different blurred creators in the community about their journey in content creation and how we can support each other better in the community. So today we have very special guests. Let's just get some other people on here and then we'll get it started. And I really appreciate you guys that come in or come out throughout the time of the show. So let's just add a few more people and then we'll introduce our lovely guests that we have tonight. Okay. So today we have very special guest, Sharrona Williams. She is the founder of the amazing 1821 plus anime and gaming pop culture convention in Huntsville, Alabama, also known as OtonodakekeCon. So definitely let's get them on and let's get it started. Hello. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. How was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was great. I had some friends to come up and we had like a game night. So we really enjoyed ourselves. It was like a slumber party, a grown-up slumber party. So it was fun.
I'm glad you had a great time. That sounds like fun, actually.
It was. We stayed up till like 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully you got some good sleep afterward.
The nap, I did. I've been napping all day.
Well, that's good. So again, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So for the people that may not know who you are, introduce yourself and what you do.
I am Sharrona Williams, and I am the founder of OtonodakekeCon. It is an 18 plus convention that is in Huntsville, Alabama. And this year, the convention will be September 25th and 26th.
That's amazing. So first I want to ask, how was it growing up for you, as as they call it, a blurred, loving all the things that you love in all parts of the nerddom? And how does it feel now that, fast forward, you're able to find other individuals that like the same things you like, but not only that, create your own convention?
Growing up, it was kind of like the hush hush thing. You didn't let people know that you were into stuff like that because they looked at you as being weird or something like, oh, she's acting white because she liked those weird things that the white people like. Mm-hmm. And when I moved to Huntsville, I went to Alabama A&M, and I couldn't really find anybody like that. So I kind of had to, not talk about stuff like that. So I wasn't looked at as being weird. It was more so I just wanted to fit in. So I kind of stepped away from it. And then I, once I graduated, got back into it secretly. And one of my best friends got me back into it. And I went to my first anime convention, which was MomoCon, and kind of took off from there.
That's awesome. So the question I like to ask everybody was, what was the inspiration to create this con? Because, it's one thing to have the idea, it's another thing to actually go ahead and start it. So what was that push for you?
So in Huntsville, there are it's pretty much all the conventions are family focused. Mm-hmm. And it's nothing for adults to just be able to enjoy themselves without worrying about, having to bring their kids, or they can't really enjoy the con because it's more so they're going to the con, but they're taking their kids. It's more so for their kids to enjoy. Mm. I wanted something for the adults to enjoy because most of the cons have things like 18 plus after a certain time. Mm. Well, with my con, that's the whole entire con. You don't have to worry about, I got to wait till, late night and take the kids back home or find a sitter for the whole entire weekend for my con, because it is something to do both days, all day long, with adult panels, mature panels. Then we also, of course, have your regular panels that, everybody likes to go to and enjoy.
Yeah, of course, of course. And I wanted to say, because I know how you were getting a little, giving us a little bit of an idea of like what the convention scene was. I wanted to ask, like, what is just like the scene in general in Huntsville, Alabama? 'Cause I've never been there before, so I'm not sure how the scene was in terms of like nerddom and pop culture and like events that they had for that area before you brought your convention to that area.
Huntsville has a ton, when I say a ton of cons, but
Mm,
nothing like mine.
mm.
Um, Let me see. I want to say they have at least 3 to 4 cons a year, if not more, in Huntsville. New cons are popping up like mine. Some come, some go. So there are a lot of different places like downtown that have nerdy events. You'll see different restaurants hosting anime themed trivia. So I think it's pretty big here. I would say it's pretty big here.
And what I love about your convention is just like how you provide a safe space for just adults to feel comfortable liking, anime, gaming, Japanese culture, cosplay, because, the stigma that they have, like, when we go to these other conventions, they're like, they have the 18 plus, but like you said, it's like restricted because, it's supposed to
Mhm.
be family friendly, as well as um, like the pressures of like, as you get older, should you be going to these cons? So I
Yes.
was that's the main thing. So I wanted to ask, like, when you brought this convention and people came to the convention, what was the response that you got from the people that came to the convention and were part of the convention?
They were thanking me for having a space for just adults. They really enjoyed the fact that they don't have to worry about offending anybody, and they really enjoyed the panels. They were something that they all wanted to know more about. And it's just, like I said, a different experience than what you would find at a MomoCon.
Yeah, that's very true. And I wanted to ask, what was the process like, or what was some of like the learning curves, like first time making your own convention and like the unique nature of your convention? What was it like trying to plan it out and just getting it in the way that you envisioned it?
Stressful. Stressful. I had my best friend who helped me every step of the way with everything. Um, I remember I talked to a guy some years ago. He runs a con in Tennessee. And he was like, just do it. That was the advice that he gave me. Just do it. I get a lot of negative feedback from people, because like if you want to talk to other like vendors and stuff, they might be like, oh well, I'm family friendly, and they don't really want to get involved, but it's nothing like, I don't know. I think it's called Farley Con or something like that. My con isn't anything like that. So that aspect is challenging. Also, vendors challenging, and sponsorships.
Hmm.
Getting sponsorships because people think that it's something that it's not, and I have to break it down and let them know that this is not that type of convention.
No, yeah, I definitely understand because I know, like, I've seen like other conventions in other states that they claim it's like, like for adults, but they focus like purely on like that side of, being an adult. And I feel bad for your type of convention because from what I've seen, it's not like that. It's just like the
Mhm.
whole plethora of just like you're an adult, like, some of the stuff that at other conventions is like too kiddish sometimes for us, and like we have
Mhm.
just having more grown conversations, but at the end of the day, like, you do foster more like it being safe, it being
Mhm.
inclusive, nobody being like targeted, nobody being harassed, which are some things that happen at other conventions because they don't enforce it. So I do feel bad that like you have to explain due to like other people and them not adhering to certain standards like you like to do.
Right.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, speaking of that, because I know for the next convention, I saw how you had like the no touch policy, and I love how you like did the policy because not only did you make sure to talk about consent and talk about like the no touching, you also have like the wristband where you have like green for consent and then red for not consent. So what went into that policy and like making it the way it is to make sure that everybody at the convention is safe?
So the green more so is for, well, you can't touch anybody at all. Like, I don't care what they got on, just because, they may have their butt out or whatever the case may be, does not give you permission to touch. I don't like to be touched, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't like to be touched. And I know a lot of cons, you might see somebody walking around or whatever, and you be like, well, not me, men, and they be like, oh, that's a nice butt, and I want to grab. No, no touching at all whatsoever, unless they say, yes, okay, if you want to smack my butt or whatever the case may be. But the green wristband and the red wristband is mainly primarily for like photos, because you have some people that don't want their photos to be taken at all. And I want to respect those people as well.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense, and I appreciate you doing that, because it just further, like, emphasizes the fact of it being a safe and inclusive space. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I definitely wanted to shout out my girl, Toshi J from Melanin Minds. You had her as a guest for the convention as well. She helped promote from the convention that you had. So, how did you guys meet, and how did she become a guest for the convention?
So I go to as many conventions as I go to try to promote my con. And I was walking in MomoCon, and I came across her table. I think she was like one of the first people that I stopped to talk to. And I had like the best conversation with her. And I had asked her, would she be interested in doing a panel? And she was like, yes. She said that she really enjoyed me out here hustling, and she saw my drive and my passion. And I was like, how about you be a guest instead? But she still did her panel, and I really appreciate her. And I also had wanted to shout out Melanated Minds for driving all the way from Atlanta to do her panel. She stayed for a few hours, and then she went back. Like, I appreciated that so much. And she's actually going to be helping me again this year, and I have her on my team.
That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. And how did it feel when you were able to finally get like the sponsors that you have from the Red Panda Hobby and Games and from the White Lotus tea company?
Oh man, I was very excited about that, because like I said, I had went to one gaming spot locally, and they originally told me yes, but then maybe the very next day, she messaged me and told me that she was family oriented and she didn't want to be involved with that, because she thought that my con was, how other cons were. So I was kind of disappointed, and I had reached out to several other gaming places, and they kind of gave me the cold shoulder and kind of, turned me away. So originally my plan was, then I'm gonna run it. I was gonna have some board games in there and just kind of just run it myself if I didn't have anybody. And luckily Red Panda agreed and was happy. I saw them at Comic-Con High. I ran into them there, and they were excited to do it, and they'll be coming back again this year.
That's great. I'm very glad to hear that.
Yes, and White Lotus Tea Company, one of my maids had got in contact with them, and that's how we were able to get them as a sponsor. And their tea is amazing. If y'all ever get a chance to get it, just look them up. Social media, that tea is really good. It's really good.
It definitely, from what the pictures that I saw, because I went to their page just to see like what they're about, and I definitely would try some of that.
Yeah, they got some nerdy teas and all kind. Like, I like that.
That's great. And I wanted to ask, like, when it comes to the team that you have to make the con as great as it is, I love that, like, on your website, you share, like, the different artists and everything that you have. So if you wanted to share, like, some of your artists and how they come up with the different artwork, because I love the artwork that you have, because, like, it's, like, sensual and it's grown, but it's, like, it's a good mix. Like, it's not, like, too much. It's, like, it's very cute. I like the artwork.
So my artwork is from, oh God, oh Lord, what's her name? I just went blank. So my original artwork was drawn by my daughter's friend, and I had posted it on Facebook, and she reached out to me and she was like, "Hey, I can make this look more 18 plus." And I was like, "Oh my God, yes, thank you." And so she just transformed her from her original. I mean, she kept her colors and stuff like that original, but she just kind of made her more adulty.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I wanted to ask about, because you have the craftsmanship contest and then the sexy contest. So I want you to explain like both and like what it is and how interactive it is.
So the sexy cosplay contest is more so showing your sexy side. Kind of still doing the same catwalk that you would normally do at regular conventions, but you're trying to give the audience a reason to vote for you. Oh, the young lady name was Amira. My best friend just popped on. He helped me
Oh,
all the way with this convention. So yeah. Amira, she was awesome. She will definitely be helping me again this year with some drawings. And then the regular cosplay contest is more so on your sewing techniques and how well you stitch things together and how you put things together.
that's true. And definitely because, we were talking about just like the stigma and how you're able to break the mold. For people that want to come to the convention, what is like the best, like, I guess you can say, like, explanation of the convention and how it's welcoming for everybody, no matter what they love?
Uh, you said what is the best way to
So,
get people to come?
yeah, like to explain like what the convention is, because it's
Okay.
it's more than just a stigma. Like, it's a very good convention. Like, you run it very well.
So if this convention is for adults 18 and up, you don't have to worry about kids. You don't have to worry about um, being stalked. You don't have to worry about anybody bothering you here. It's just for adults to have adult panels, adult topics, just all around fun that you get at every other convention, but just for you.
Yeah,
You
I
can get
think.
a breakaway from, your MomoCon where you got to take your kids and you can't enjoy anything because you're running around with your kids. This con is just for you. It's just for the adults, the fun, the adult rave. Y'all remember no kids in there running around being kids. It's just for you.
Yeah, and it makes sense because I know sometimes, especially for parents, that can be relieving because it's just like finally, because a lot of us, especially a lot of us that are blurs, but people
I
that
have
have
kids.
that
Yeah.
kids, they're like, I love going to the convention with my kids, but sometimes having to pick and choose which convention is for them and which convention is not for them, and like when to not take them and when to take them is kind of relieving to know. I was like, okay, this one is for me, so I'll
Mhm.
keep you at home, and then I can have a little bit of a break because it is very time consuming to be a parent. It can be exhausting, so having that little bit of a break, I'm sure it's helps any parent that's been to the convention.
Yeah, for me, it was like my daughter loves to go to conventions with me. I can't ever go to any panels because she wants to
Mm.
play. She loves the gaming area. That's primarily what she want to go to a convention for, and we're going to stay there the entire time. We'll walk around and look at vendors, but that's not what she want to do. She wants to go and play all the games in the gaming area. So conventions, when I go to conventions, is not for me. So I want to have a convention where the adults can be like, this convention is for me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And something that I love also is that you have your maid cafe, but you also have like for the convention you had like the one time butler cafe. So what was the inspiration to do the butler cafe? Because I've heard about the butler cafes, but they always promote the maid cafes. So it's kind of just like that's cool. Like, I love the other side of it as well. So what inspired you to have both of them at the convention?
That was my maid's idea
Oh,
to have the Butler Cafe. And I think they just wanted to give one something different from all the rest of the cafes that they were going to have, just in case somebody might want to, be served by the guys versus being served by the ladies.
yeah, that definitely makes sense because I know in, the Japanese culture, they do have that, but here in the US they usually push the maid cafe, and they have like one or two butlers. So it's kind of nice to have like to see the other side that you would see if you go to Japan and like their culture, because they have both and they promote both just as equally. So I think that's cool that you have it at your convention.
Yes.
And also I want to talk about the maid cafe and how you found your maids for the maid cafe.
So I found my maids through, I posted on Instagram and social and Facebook about maids, and I had several different people reach out. One lady reached out from Indiana, but we couldn't come to a conclusion or an agreement on what it was we wanted. So a member from them had reached out to me and was like, we would love to do it. So I had Yuri and Plum. Her name is Plum. Yeah, I met up with them and they were very excited to join and help me out with the maid cafe, and they recruited their own butlers.
That's awesome. And how was the response to the maid cafe? How did people like it? How did they like
They
the
loved it. One person was like, I need another ticket. And he was like, he couldn't choose between the panels and the maid cafe. He was like, I don't want to miss these panels, but I would love to do a second maid cafe because he really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And also, I wanted to ask for people that may not know the type of panels that you had at the convention, if you want to talk about some of your favorite ones, because like you probably have like favorite ones that you had during the convention.
So one of my favorite ones was I had a sex therapist, Nita Love, and everybody loved that one. She was talking about sex wellness and safety, like how you can be safe during, sex, and role play and good touch, bad touch, and aftercare, like say you're in a dominatrix situation and what to do after that, how to be sweet to them, talk to them, do this hurt, rub on that. I absolutely love that. And then I had the Shibari artist. That was a big hit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to go interview that one. I just got to pop my head in for like a quick moment. But that was another one that everybody really liked.
That's awesome. And I think I did see the Nita Love one, because I saw in the highlights. I do appreciate how, again, even with the vendors and the panels you have, like just the emphasis for you to adhere to like, the consent, because I love how she broke down like it can be safe, it can be intimate, but it can be safe. Like it doesn't have to be like where you're forced to do certain things to break that stigma. So I love how like she went into it, and especially like I was seeing like when she had like her person to give like the examples, and she was making sure that they were comfortable, making sure like, do you like this? Do you not like this? I think that really goes into like how much care you put into like the people that you bring to the convention, to be like, listen, like we're here to have fun, but make sure it's respectful, and like to that, that people feel comfortable and safe. So I really appreciate that like her and like everybody else that I saw that had their panels. And
yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to ask for people that may want to be part of the convention and want to be a vendor or a panelist, like, are there any rules that they have to follow, or where they can go to sign up? I just wanted to give you that chance, like, for people that may be interested.
You can sign up on OtonodakekeCon.com. Fill out a form for vendors, for volunteers, or sponsorships, for whatever it is you want to do. We are looking for vendors. We're looking for everything. We need volunteers for tickets. We need volunteers for bag checks, just all sort of things. We got enough people for our media team, so we're just looking for like volunteers for everything else.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely awesome. And if you want to share a little bit about, actually, I wanted to congratulate you because you gave news about this year's con that is going to be a 2 full day con now, with all different tabletop and panels and contests.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask, like, how do you feel that you're able to do that, and that is going to be a 2-day con?
So what made me decide to push 2-day is I had a lot of people that wanted to help and wanted to do different things in a con, and I was not able to fit all of that in one day. So on Friday, I'm going to have the comedy show, and I'm going to have the rave. And on Saturday, I'm going to have a burlesque show, and I'm going to have a concert by a special guest. Her name is Sunny. She is out of Austin, Texas. I haven't made an announcement yet, so you get it first. I have not made the announcement yet, so you get it first. And she is a R&B pop artist in Houston, Texas. I met her at another convention, and I was talking to her about it. My best friend was talking to her about it, and she was like, I would love to come and perform at your convention and host a panel. And then I also met another guy. His name is Melvin Todd. I think he goes by Loveless Melvin.
Yeah.
And he's another special guest that I'm going to have. And he is a tattoo artist, and he does a lot of things about mental health. So he has a couple of comics out about his healing journey. And I almost pulled up a chair and just sat down and was talking to him for hours. And I was like, I need this, because we need to talk about mental health, and especially men's mental health, especially in the anime community. I think that's really big, and I'm real big on mental health anyway. So that's going to be 2 great additions for OtonodakekeCon. And there's no way I'm fitting all of that in one day.
No, yeah, I definitely understand that, and I'm happy for you, because I've known of other cons that do like 1 day, and they just stick to 1 day, but sometimes they do 2-day. But I think that you have a lot of good people behind you that will make the 2-day great, even with how stressful it might be, because it's more than 1 day that you have to plan. But you know,
yeah.
And I wanted to ask, what were some of the lessons you learned after doing the convention that you're taking into this year's convention?
Say no. I can't say yes to everything.
Yeah.
And breathe. My biggest thing is not agreeing to everything. And when something does not align with what I want for the convention, speak out on it. Don't be afraid to tell people how I feel about a situation. Because I'm like, okay, yeah, I could try to make this work. And then I go back and think about it and be like, I can't make this work. So I have to go be the bad guy and let them know, I changed my mind on this situation. It's no longer going to fit the direction that I'm going in.
That's definitely true. I definitely understand that, because just like sometimes you have a vision, and you're like, you need to keep those boundaries and say no. Sometimes it's hard to say no, but sometimes, if, like you said, if it doesn't align, then it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And I want to ask, what are some of the goals that you have for the convention and everything that you're doing? It could be long-term, short-term, whatever you want to share.
I want to grow this convention so more adults can know that they can come to a place like this and enjoy themselves. We are always focused on our kids and doing things with our kids and spending time with our kids. But what about us? Sometimes we need that space so we can remember we are a person too. We are not just mom or, auntie or grandma at this age, because I'm a grandma. So you need a space to be like, who am I? I am Sharrona, and this is what Sharrona likes to do. So as adults, we just need our own space sometimes. It's not that we don't want to be with kids, but we need to separate and just be by ourselves with other people that think like us.
No, yeah, that's definitely true. And definitely as an adult, like you said, like all the stigmas and everything when it comes to liking what we like, it's just nice to have a convention where we're just like, okay, we don't have to worry about all of that. We're all adults. We all know we love these things. Like it's our time to shine, in a sense.
Yes.
And I also wanted to talk about the burlesque and the drag show. how you came up with the idea to have it for your convention, and getting the people for the show, and how it went.
So one of my coworkers, I reached out to some of the local people here, and I kind of was getting ignored.
Mm.
So a coworker of mine, actually, it's crazy. His boyfriend at the time had dated one of the drag queens,
Mm.
and he was like, "I'm gonna give you the number, and you can reach out." And Pixie was my main queen, and she was very excited, and she brought her own team. Everybody loved that. I had never been to a drag show before, and I
Yeah.
absolutely loved it. It was like, oh, they brought the energy. They were singing, dancing, doing splits, having fights. Like, it was great. And they were beautiful. And I remember I was like looking at Pixie's photos, and I was like, that's a girl. And I had made a bet with my best friend, and he was like, it's a boy. I was like, nah, she's too pretty. They were all boys. And I did have one that was a boy, but he didn't dress, like the traditional lady drags. He was a male, he looked great. He was good. So I was just like, okay, so all drags are pretty much boys. Okay, so it's something new. I thought sometimes it would be a girl just dressed up like, like that, all extra and stuff. But no.
No, yeah, I think I was the same way, because like I went to my first burlesque show. I think it was J1C Con. They have it every year, so I went to that. And like, yeah, sometimes you have to like figure it out on the fly. You're like, oh, okay, I see. But they're always so creative, and with the outfits and the hair, they really do spend like, whenever they start their whole career, they really like take the time out to create all these things, like artists in a sense. I do respect what they do.
Yes. Because they kept changing outfits and changing hair and just changing. I was like, my God. Then they'll run off the stage, the next person come on, and they gave a show. It was amazing.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And also, I wanted to talk about the cosplay karaoke. Like, what inspired you to have the cosplay karaoke, how it went, and if there's any changes you're making for the event, because I know you want to do it for this year's convention.
So it was just like a Kickstarter for the con. I like karaoke. No, a lot of people like karaoke. So I partnered. I was just walking around passing out flyers, and I stopped and talked to them and was like, I wanted a spot to have like a pregame. Since I was one day, I wanted something, before, and the con was ending so late. So there was no point in having like an after party. So I was like, I'll have a pre-party instead, like a kickoff. And so they agreed, and they were all excited and helped me to promote it. So, we love to dress up in our cosplay. I do. It's fun. So why not dress up and go sing?
Yeah, that's definitely true. And how long have you been into cosplay, and how has that journey been for you?
I am new into cosplay. The very first thing I cosplayed was Harley Quinn, and I was at MomoCon. And I have about maybe 5 different cosplays that I cosplay. Because here lately, I don't go to conventions for me. Like I said, it's more so I got to take my daughter, because as soon as I say I'm going to a convention, which one? Where are we going? And she always wants to go with me. And I still have one that I have not worn. It's Raven. And I don't know. It's, it's very sexy. It's not it's kind of like what you see with everybody else. But I don't want to wear the cape.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying.
So it's like, where am I wearing this to other than my own con? Because I don't want to offend anybody else's child by not wearing my cape, because little ones do attend conventions.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll wear that this year. I don't know.
I mean, you never know. I mean, hey, it's your convention. Wear what you want. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
that mommy daughter cosplay is cute.
Yes, well, my daughter, we did like a family cosplay a couple of years ago. We were Demon Slayer. And my youngest daughter was no, I was Shinobu. My son was, oh, I'm gonna mess his name up. This Nitsu. I always mess that man's
Oh,
name up.
Zenitsu.
This Nitsu. My daughter was the snake character, but I can't remember his name. And
Oh, Obanai.
okay. And my youngest one, she was Nezuko. So she was super cute. So we did the little whole family one.
That's definitely adorable. I do love that. And when it came to the vendors that you had for the convention, how did you feel having those vendors and them interacting with the guests that you have? And what was the feedback for the artist alley and like the vendor out like area that you had?
Everybody gave great feedback. The vendor said they really enjoyed it and that they will be returning this year. And I believe that all my guests bought something from the vendors hall because I had a variety of stuff. I had t-shirts, I had candy, I had whips, I had just a little bit of everything, artwork, you name it. We had it all.
That's awesome. And I like that for the artists as well because like I know because I'm also an artist and I know sometimes when you're at the regular convention because everybody has different art that they like to do and some of the artists do like to do 21 plus but they're always restricted.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one convention where Anime NJ plus plus they do have an 18 plus section but they have to be away from the other vendors because
Yeah.
they are 21 plus so they're in the corner. So I could imagine for the artists that were there, they all know that they're adults and they all probably do the art as well. So they probably just felt comfortable like, oh, I don't have to be restricted. We know that
Correct.
we know that it's for adults, so I don't have to worry about offending anybody, like you said. So I'm sure that they felt
Mhm.
comfortable with that as well.
Yes, like I had some artists that like to draw stuff like that, and they were really excited because they can't advertise at regular conventions, or they would have like a little sign when I was walking around at different conventions. You had to show your ID in order to view their artwork and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think this works for you as well because I know with the other conventions they always deal with issues because they choose to have that knowing that it's family friendly. But for
Mhm.
you, you don't have to deal with that because it's like it's appropriate because it's the age range is up. So I think that definitely is gonna work for you in the long run. So people feel safe, as long as there's consent, it's okay. As long as you're respectful, it's okay. It's like I feel like you won't have to deal with all the legal issues because I've heard
Yeah.
about the legal issues when they decide to have that and they're not safe about making sure that they like the family friendly people and like kids don't get exposed to it. So I definitely think you did a good thing with knowing what the age range is and making sure that everybody feels safe there. So,
Mhm.
and I wanted to say, I know you have your own life outside of doing the convention. You're doing so many things with the convention. You have your family life. Have you ever had feelings of being overwhelmed? What are some things that you have to do to get yourself grounded to keep going with everything that you're doing, or when you feel those moments?
Yes, I do get stressed out and overwhelmed. I would normally just vent to my friends, play the video game, just to try to de-stress, walking around outside barefoot, grounding myself, sitting, listening to music. That would be some ways that I just kind of have to woo-sah from being stressed out about convention stuff. I know the week of, that's all I can say. I was the smallest, tiniest little thing got me overwhelmed. Like, what about this? Did I do this right? And oh my God, I forgot this. And oh, I need this. Like, so I just had to breathe, walk around outside, talk to my friends, play some video games, listen to some music to just woosah.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And how was it to be able to well, I know Toshi had you on her show, The Melanin Minds, and be able to talk about the convention and get that support. Like, how did that feel for you to get like that type of support for your convention?
I enjoyed it because she was highlighting Black women in the convention world and the things that we're doing. And I didn't know that it was, so few of us out there that is doing what I'm doing. Like there are other Black women that are running conventions as well in anime world. And I definitely want to link up with some of those women and see how their journey has been and see what kind of advice they can give me going forward.
Yeah, of course. Like when it comes to like the black owned convention space, it's still pretty small. We get new ones every year, but especially like women owned ones, like that's even like less. So like
Mhm.
there's some now, like I believe IshoCon is one of those conventions, and there's like maybe one or two other conventions, but definitely I would love to see that. I would love to see more black owned women conventions, and the ones that are already there partnering at some point. It would be really great to have that representation in that way, because it's already hard for the black conventions, and I can only imagine for when you're black woman owned, just trying to get these like sponsorships, trying to, just in business in general, just trying for them to take us seriously. So like coming together is like the
Yes.
best thing to do.
The taking me serious part is what it is. It's the support is very, very low and
Mm-hmm.
very, very minimal. But I
Mm-hmm.
do appreciate the ones that have supported me, saw my vision, and wanted to help me.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely something I've talked about because I've had a roundtable talk where we talked about support from like peers, family, people that you know. So when you decided to go on this venture, what was the response for you or the reaction? And then fast forward, what were some things that you had to put in your mind to keep going? Because I know for us, sometimes when we started, there's different reactions, there's different responses depending on our own experience, and we kind of just have to remember that sometimes don't take it to heart. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna find our tribe. But what was your experience when it came to building your business?
So I have been planning this since 2022 in my head. I already had my Gmail account and everything set up, and I was like, I think I'll do it. And I want to say 24. And I was like, I was like, no, that's the year I turned 40. I was like, yeah, that's my year. So maybe not. And I actually wasn't going to do it because of budget. This is primarily funded by me. I did have not a vendor. I had a sponsor last year who gave monetarily. Shout out to Greg Stiegels. I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Hmm.
He donated monetarily, and I was like, okay, the cost of this is expensive. The
Yeah.
cost to get, everybody is like, well, you have any voice actors? Well, I would love to have voice actors. I need some sponsorships for voice actors. So anybody want to, be a sponsor for a voice actor? Of course, you can always go to OtonodakekeCon and put in your sponsorship and definitely let me know and see what I can get. But it was more so the financial part for me. And how am I going to pay for this? And can I afford this? So I went to several different places, like where the ones in Huntsville held. And I was like, there is absolutely no way I can afford this because they wanted like $20,000
Mm-hmm.
and you had to have like 18,000 up front. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So it's more so a financial thing for me. And I finally found not a vendor, but a space
Hmm.
where it wasn't charging my arm, legs, and everything else.
Yeah.
That was affordable for me to have my first con.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, and I just a tiny explanation because I feel like I know people that run conventions, and I just feel like people don't understand how much work goes into it or where things get, how you guys are able to make the convention run. So, when it, like you were saying, like when it comes to the financial part, like for the conventions, like the money is just based on like your own funds, or if people can sponsor, or the ticket sales. Like if you want to explain
Mhm.
explain a little bit for people that may not understand what it takes to make the convention, especially in like our community, because I feel like we're very harsh with like first time like black owned conventions. Like the first mistake they want, but they don't understand the support that it takes, and then what we're doing behind the scenes if we don't have the support, you know.
Yeah, so it's definitely hard to get these sponsorships. Very, very hard. So to pay for the convention, you do have to either have money up front, or you have to use your ticket sale money or whatever money that you get from all venues to cover it. So now that I'm running it, I understand why some people charge what they charge for a ticket. I understand why they charge, because hotels don't allow you to bring your own food in and stuff like that. So you have to buy their food, and that is very, very costly. And they'll have like, oh, well, you need to sell X amount of dollars in, in food, whether it's you purchasing food or whatever the case may be. So that's an expense on top of whatever they're telling you is going to cost to rent the space. Another thing is, oh my God, I just lost my train of thought.
It's okay. It happens. Listen, it happens.
So that's the financial part of it for sure. So ticket sales, that's why people charge what they charge for ticket sales. And it's like, if you want a better deal, buy your tickets early. Like my early bird tickets end on the 31st, and then they're gonna, of course, increase as it gets closer to the con. And that's with the Maid Cafe tickets, and of course with the vendor prices. Like you charge the vendors an amount to come in and sell their things and stuff like that. And you use those funds as well to cover the cost, and whatever you're lacking in between the ticket sales and the vendor costs, you got to pay out of pocket.
Yeah.
So however you get that money, if it's working a second job, if it's starting to GoFundMe, you got friends and family that want to support you and help you pay for this, your con. I mean, that's where the funds come from. Working overtime, whatever you got to do it, just got to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, I do commend you. Anybody that I've had on the show I do commend you for putting the push, trying to have representation in that way for your area. So I'm proud of you for doing it and continuing to doing it. So I just wanted to tell you that now. If I know you have people to probably say it, but just to keep it going. So
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. And one thing I asked is about support in the blurred community, the blurred/black community. I asked, what do we do well so far to support each other in this community? What can we do better? I asked this question because everybody is in the community doing different things, so they have different experiences based on the part of the community they're in, and just to get feedback on what you think, what we do well, what we can do better. It's just like an open conversation to have about that.
So what we do well in is sharing the con, sharing information, sending people who can help you, and things of that nature. What I feel like we could do better is linking together. I feel like a lot of Black people like to separate themselves because I'm doing this and I don't want you to be better than me. So I'm going to gatekeep and not tell you, this kind of information and stuff like that. So I would love to see more. Like I had people come up to me and like, I want to start my convention. What do I need to do? I'm going to give you all the information that I have done. I'm not going to gatekeep anything because I don't care if you'll be better than me, but you won't be like me.
Yeah.
So that's something that I wish we would do. Like, just come together and be like, okay, so I've tried this and this worked, and I've done this and this didn't work, versus keeping it to ourselves.
So I agree with what my boy Clutch said. Well, I'm competitive. I don't need to gatekeep, and I understand exactly what you're saying. But yeah, I understand what you're saying as well. Where it's just, I've seen some communities like my boy Clutch Boy Wonder here in the Hidden Dream Village. I'm part of that village as well, and they're a great example of just bringing people together in a community that's respectful, uplifts each other, and everything like that. So there are spaces that are trying to do that, but I get it. There's still some people in the community that are like, you know, I'm competitive, but I need to drag everybody else down with me. And that's not what we should be doing.
Right.
We should be doing more collaboration because we could grow more if we collaborate more. So I definitely understand what you're saying with that.
Hmm. Had
And
somebody tell me, "Oh, you should charge for that information." Why? No, I'm not charging anybody for anything. I just want anybody who want to start something. My main thing is just do it. Like I said, my best friend, he pushed me. Okay. I remember at one point I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a convention and I can't afford to have what I want, and I'll just have one room, maybe one or two rooms. And it turned into no, I could do the whole building to okay, I need to expand because I need more space. So
mhm. Yeah, I definitely understand that. And I wanted to talk about one of the events that you had, the Deep Love Space event that you had with the Maid Cafe.
uh-huh.
How did that go? And like, what was the inspiration for that event?
That was all my maids. So I'll let my maids, whoever like wants to volunteer and help with anything, I'd be like, okay, well, you're in charge of all of that. Whatever you want to do, I'm gonna let you run it. And I trust whatever it is that you're gonna do because you know what's best. This is your expertise. And she felt like that would be a good topic for that particular cafe. So I just let her run it. Whatever she wanted to do, I said, yeah, just tell me what you need.
That's awesome. And speaking of that, like, how has the relationship built, like, with your Maid Team Cafe? Because like from what I'm hearing, it seems like you're very interactive and like give like creative freedom to the people that you have, like for the Maid Cafe and for some of the events. So how has the relationship been over the years with that method that you do?
Well, this is only year one where we're entering into, our second year. I feel like we have a great relationship, and they're looking into increasing the maze and bringing other people on so we can grow.
That's great. I really like that that's happening. And that was just to like clarify because I did see that like I wanted to ask if it's only the first year. I just wanted to make sure that I knew it was the first year. But okay, thank you for clarifying that.
Yes.
And I wanted to say, what was one of your favorite moments during the convention that you had recently?
Hmm. That I had a line outside of the door to get in before the convention start for it being a first con. And
Yeah.
I was like, what? I had a line of people waiting outside for the doors to open.
Mm.
That was my oh my God moment for me. I had people waiting at the door. I was like, this is big.
No, yeah, that's definitely an accomplishment for a first year com because that's I from what I've heard, that's always the concern when you're doing the first convention. Like, is anybody gonna come? Are you gonna get it? So to the fact that you got a line, that means that you're doing something right. That means that the concept you're doing something right. Like
Mhm.
people are drawn into the concept. So I'm excited to see what happens this year.
Yes. I was like, oh, I got a line. Where's my photographer to get this? He wasn't there yet. He was a little late, but that's okay. And I was too busy running around to try to go find my phone. I was like, oh my God, I should have had my phone on me. I was like, I got a line of people outside waiting. That made me feel great right there. And then I also, people loved that I had like a pole dancer, like a pole dancer, but her
Hmm.
name was the Jade Vine. And
Hmm.
she had like a pole and was teaching about pole safety. And it was fun. People really, really enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that it went so well and like people felt comfortable and um for people that may not know how important it is for you, like, oh, I wanted to ask, like, how was it for you to see those panels where they were talking about empowerment and just, um, I guess, empowerment and owning your body when it came to some of the panels that was talking about, like kink and like the shibari and everything like that? Like, how did it feel, or what was like the response that you saw from people when um, they went to those panels that may have been like shy about that. Like, for example, for me, I used to be shy about those things, you know, or afraid about those things. Like, what did you see when you like, or heard, or the feedback that you heard from those panels? Like, just knowing that it was like a safe space for them to feel comfortable, to feel empowered for stuff like that.
They want more. They definitely want more of that. They really enjoyed the Shibari, and she went over safety as well, and how not to, I remember she said, and how not to cut off, you know, your main arteries and stuff like that. And they want more of that. And also with Nita Love, she gave a great breakdown of, you know, what's good and what's bad. And like you said, how to make sure your partner is okay and what they like and don't like. So yeah.
It's awesome. And also, in case you ever need performers, we have Geekster the Super Nerd would love to like be part of your, like, if you ever have performances for your concerts. So definitely, if you want to reach out to them after the show, you can.
Yes. Just send me a message at OtonodakekeCon@gmail.com, or you can go to the website OtonodakekeCon.com.
All right, so there you have it. And they also talked about like other cons that they've seen in like Tennessee, like Waifu Con and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely like more cons, like collaborations and stuff like that, like we mentioned before.
Yes.
And I
I
would
would
say,
love to collaborate with other cons or just other con owners, get advice.
yeah, of course. And I wanted to ask, how has this journey, you know, creating the con, you know, running your own business, how has this helped you? It could be mentally, spiritually, what, however you felt like it's helped you.
It showed me that I can do whatever I put my mind to. If I think it, I can do it. Like
That,
they say, if you build it, they will come.
yeah.
So they will come, and they're coming.
And I'm happy that they are coming.
Yes.
And I wanted to say, are there any like different experiences or like panels or like ideas for the convention that you want to do over time as like the convention grows and you keep doing the convention?
I want to do more mental health stuff because that's not a topic that's really talked about, and especially in conventions, you don't really hear anything on mental health in conventions, and that's why when I met Melvin Todd, I was super excited that he was going to be a guest at my convention and talk about his healing journey and to just help and spread awareness about that.
Yeah, you are right actually, because there's only one or two cons I've went where they had like maybe one, maybe one panel. There's not much like there, and there's a bunch of creators that I know that have podcasts where they talk about mental health and they tie it to like gaming and anime. So it would be interesting to have like people like that do talk about mental health and cosplay and stuff like that to be able to have panels like that. So hopefully you're able to do it and you find people in the area that wanna like host a panel like that.
Yes. I know on panel that Melanated Minds talked about was how to do your hair and makeup
Mm.
for your cosplay. And I'm like, yes, I like that. I like that. Because we can do our makeup to be cute, but we want to look like this character. Need a little help with that. So I have yet to do my makeup, or well, I'll put on a wig for some of them, but I've yet to do my makeup to match like how the character is because I don't know how.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like I cosplay as well, and that process of like the makeup is a whole another thing. Like some people are like go into like the cosplay painting and are magicians, I would say. Like I'm definitely learning as well, but I have like a lot of people like inspirations that helps me try to like get better because I don't wear that much makeup on a daily basis. So that's what makes it
Mhm.
a little bit harder, because when you don't wear it on a daily basis, imagine trying to just try your best and like do your own looks.
Yeah.
And I've been trying my best. People like it and stuff, but I can always do better. So having a panel like that, I think is a good idea as well. And because I know some people that are like experts at it and they also teach classes. So it'd be amazing if there's people in the area that also do cosplay makeup and like help others, like if they can come in, because like we all need it. We all need it at some point. For me, particularly like cosplay paint with the makeup, because imagine you're already doing the makeup, now you're adding the paint. There's a certain way,
Yes.
there's a certain way you have to do it so it looks right. So
Hmm. Like I see people who will like paint their face white or gray or green, and I'm just like, what kind of paint are they using?
it's a
Especially
process.
like like the Black community, and how do you get it to stay? And somebody come teach me, because I would love to go all out for something. Don't know what, but I want to go all out and have my neck painted, my arms painted, my face painted, the legs painted. Like I would definitely. I'm just moving this camera all around, trying to find.
You're good. But no, yeah, I definitely
Learn
understand
that.
it. I mean, yeah, I know some people that probably would love to travel out. They could travel out because they do it on a daily basis. They're very talented. I've learned a few things. Some things I'm like, I don't have the patience for yet, but I've learned a lot just from looking at them and like when they do the cosplay paint, because they know the brands. They know, like, because you need setting spray, you need to like layer, which is the one thing that I have to learn to do if I decide to paint more.
Oh,
Because like
okay.
because like when you paint, it's like for some people, like they do one coat, but you have to do another coat for it to look even, apparently. So like you have to like set each like it's a whole process depending on how much you're doing. Because for some people like me, like I may just paint like certain parts of my face, or I've done like kind of like avatar, like the certain parts of my body, but I haven't had the confidence to do my whole body. But I know people that do their whole body, and there's a whole process. So yeah, definitely it's fun. It's fun to learn. So hopefully you're able to do that at the convention as well.
Yes.
And
That's a super cool panel right there, because I'm like, I need somebody to take over because I need to be in this one.
no, yeah, I definitely understand it. Like anything when it comes to like building your cosplay, like foam, like I've seen panels where they do like foam smithing and like the craftsmanship panels and stuff like that. Those are fun panels, as well as like the makeup. So yeah, there's definitely a grand list of possibilities for panels in the future for you.
Hmm.
And again, it was a pleasure talking to you about the convention and how it's going, and I hope you had a good time.
I did. Thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. And I just want to give you the chance now for people to see where to follow you, what to do next, what's next, when the convention is, and everything like that.
Okay, so you guys can follow me on my social media. It's OtonodakekeCon on Instagram, Facebook, and I just started a TikTok as well. You can go to OtonodakekeCon.com to purchase your tickets, to sign up to be a volunteer, to be a sponsor, or to be a vendor. It again is going to be September the 27th. I'm sorry, that was last year. September 25th and 26th in Huntsville, Alabama. It's going to be located at the Marriott at the Space and Rocket Center.
Awesome, guys. So definitely, I'll make sure to put that information when I can in the YouTube description. And please go onto their Instagram. It's the same name as the convention on the Instagram page to, make sure you keep up with all the news for the convention coming up in September. And thank you guys for always supporting the show. I really do appreciate it. Hi, for those that may watch this back or watched it and they don't know who I am. Hi, my name is Lissy. I'm part of AnimeInkArt. And that's my art-inspired brand. I traditionally draw and I digitally edit. It's based on Japanese animation, anime and stuff like that. So we're doing more of that in the new year. But it's a amalgamation of things right now when it comes to AnimeInkArt. So we cosplay as well. We do the show, which is an extension of our brand to support other blurred creators, other Black nerds. And it started with AnimeInkArt Black Brand Spotlight a few years back in September of 2023. We started this show because I needed to get out of my comfort zone of talking in content and media, and I've met a lot of great creators and I wanted to highlight them. So that's how the show came to be. If you want to be part of the show, we have the form on our AnimeInkArt page, which is for the live interviews. It's a simple process. We have the open call right now that we posted. So we're looking for creators at the end of this month, especially for Black History Month, to promote as many people as possible and into the rest of the year. So definitely DM us at AnimeInkArt1 or AnimeInkArt Live 1. Also, if you would like commissions, we have the form for that. The link tree has everything you need. The link tree has all the other social media, all the shops that we have on Shopify and Redbubble. Shopify is the main store that we're going to push, as well as if you want commissions, when we have conventions and you can't make it, if you want anything that we have in stock, we have the form there. And definitely check out the broadcast channel because they get everything that we get there first. And shout out to Otaku Noir because we're also sponsors for them. They make amazing Black Nerd mystery boxes. They're also going to be at BlurCon, so they're going to be doing the Geek Neek box, so definitely pre-order that. They're doing the Mystery Noir box, so definitely do that. If you use code AnimeInkArt, you'll get free shipping at checkout. Shout outs to Blurred Unite. We were the opportunity grant winner for them last year. And we may be doing more things with them in the future. And we have a lot of fun shows and fun people that'll be on the show. I won't share that yet, but you'll find out because shows are coming soon. So definitely I appreciate you guys. And with that, we're going to be signing out. Bye, guys. And before I go, thank you for rooting for everybody Black Clutch. Love you.
Yeah, thank you, Black Clutch Boy Wonder. Thank you. Thank you. And also to Geekstar, the super nerd. Don't forget to reach out.
Yep, of course. So with that, see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.